look at this. I mean, it's amazing. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you. And we're going to bring jobs back to America. Remember that. Jobs back. No more games. We're playing games. This country of ours is playing games, and they're not smart games. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the folks from Richmond. So here's the story. You know, I have a lot of property, a lot of employees. I think some of them are here. Where's Carrie? Where's Carrie? You know, we have the vineyard. It's the largest vineyard on the East Coast. And I don't drink. I don't drink. Can you believe it? But it's the largest. Well, there she is. Hello, Carrie. Are we doing well? We've got a lot of employees. How many employees? 110? That's a lot, right? That's a lot. That's great. You're doing a fantastic job. So it's in Charlottesville, the Trump Vineyard. And I don't know if you want to try and come up here. Come up here, Carrie. What the hell? We have all night. So great. I'll tell you, so great. And then in Loudoun County, you know Loudoun County, I have a great club. How are you? We have a great, where are those people? Look at them. Loudoun County on the Potomac River, one of the most beautiful clubs you've ever seen, and one of the best golf courses anywhere in the world. And it is beautiful. And I think we're going to take the press over there someday. We're going to do a news conference on the Potomac River, okay? All right, we'll bring them over. So I want to talk to you a couple of things. First of all, where is she? She's so unbelievable. What a job. What a job. So I want to talk to you. It's been an amazing period of time for all of us because it's a movement. I mean, think of it. We say yesterday, let's do this because we were in the area. Like, what does that mean? The area means I was a half an hour away by air going 600 miles an hour. So I wouldn't call that the area, but it's sort of the area, right? And I said, let's do it in Richmond. We had the arena. Let's do it in Richmond. And we did it in Richmond. So it's cool. Got to win. We've got to win the state of Virginia. And this whole thing with the prisoners, I don't know, Carrie. This whole thing with the prisoners not sounding too good, right? Where murderers can vote and all these people can vote. I don't think so. I don't know. Doesn't sound good. Hopefully the court will act quickly. 200,000 people, and many of these people, look, it's not supposed to be the way it works, folks. So it's one of those things. Terry, so you run our facility. Tell them about the facility. Go ahead. In 1 minute.
Well, honestly, more than the winery, I want him to tell them about you and what an amazing boss you are. But more than a boss, a true leader. And really, you can run and have so many successful companies just by being a boss. And your leadership and your vision is just what this country needs to be great again. So
thank you, Carrie. She does an amazing job. What a great job she does. So we started a year ago, 12 months. And when I came in, I was told by all of the pundits, you're wasting your time. This is the finest group of Republican talent ever assembled. So I figured, what chance do I have, right? What chance? And it worked out good, right? It worked out good. And we're doing well, I'll tell you. The polls are looking good in Virginia, by the way. Looking good in Virginia. Got to win. Very important set. I'm going to be here a lot. Do you mind over the next 5 months? I'm going to be here a lot. It's true, though. I'm heading down to Florida. We have a massive crowd tomorrow in Florida, and we're heading down there, and we're going to be in Tampa, and great place, Tampa. And I said, let's stop on the way down, and that's why we're here, and I appreciate everybody coming out on such short notice. We love you, Richmond, and we love you, Virginia. We love you. So we began the journey, and I came down the escalator, you remember, with Melania. And since then, it's been incredible. And we started where we did very well in Iowa. Should have won Iowa, but one of those things. Something happened there. It was slick. But we won New Hampshire. And then we just kept winning and winning and winning. We won a lot. I think it ended up 37 states. Think of it. Most importantly, we had more votes. And I say we. This is like a movement, folks. This is something that's very serious. And you know, one thing that's a little bit embarrassing, but we'll take it. Whatever it takes, right? They say that we're polling very well, but they're always adding 5 and 7 and 9%. Because they say a lot of people don't say they're going to vote for Trump, but when they get in the booth, they vote for Trump. Be proud of it, folks. Be proud of it. It's true. You know, I didn't know, was I supposed to be happy or insulted? Now, then you have the opposite effect. A lot of people, you know, they run and they're stiffs. They're stiffs. And people all want to say it's politically correct. Yes, I'm going to vote for so-and-so. I don't want to say who. They call it a certain effect. Took place in California. But it's the opposite, where they poll high. So I always poll low. People don't want to say it. Person in California the other day said, I think you're going to win California. Frankly, they didn't even campaign in California. But tremendous. We had 31,000 people 2 weeks ago. I mean, we have so incredible. So I think you're going to win. They never just make so think you're going to win. And speak. Remember last time with Romney, all these politicians got up and they kept speaking. They didn't talk. They didn't mention Romney's name. They spelled. One guy spoke for like 45 minutes. He never mentioned Romney's name. He said, oh, good luck, by the way, with the election at the end, walked off. Well, we're going to do it a little different if it's okay. But I'm thinking about getting some of the great sports people that I know that like me a lot and that I like. And not even sports. We may call it the winner's evening. You know, you get like a Brian France. 100%. 100%. You know, when I was on the stage, don't forget I had to debate all these politicians, and that's what they do. They debate. Their whole life is a debate. Nothing gets done, but they debate. So I had these guys. We had 18. We actually started off with 18. Some people say 17. I think it was 18, but whatever it was a lot of people. In fact, it was so much they couldn't get them onto one stage, right? So they called it the children's stage, the second stage. But I was center stage every single debate. Was that good? Every single debate. And, you know, it was amazing. So I heard one's a debate champion, one went to Harvard, one went to Princeton, one went here, one went there, one was a national debate champion. I'm saying, what am I getting myself into? But they never had somebody interrupting them every single word they said. You're lying, you know you're lying. And you know what was fun? Every single poll, you know, you had the Drudge poll. You know Drudge? He's the best guy. Every single poll, you had Drudge, you had Time Magazine, you had Slate, you had like 7 of them. Every single poll of every single debate had me winning every debate. Every debate. How did that happen? And I never did it before. I've been doing this now for 11 and a half months. Am I doing a good job? I'm representing you. I'm representing you. And on the primaries, you know, I spent $55 million of my money, single poll. You had Drudge, you had Time Magazine, you had Slate, you had like 7 of them. Compared to what these other guys spent. Every single poll of every single debate had me winning every debate. Every debate. How did that happen? And I never did it before. I've been doing this now for 11 and a half months. Am I doing a good job? I'm representing you. I'm representing you. And on the primaries, you know, I spent $55 million of my money, $55 million. Now that sounds like a lot, but it's peanuts compared to what these other guys spent, and they came in last, and I came in first by a landslide. So we've had a lot of. But the debates were amazing because I went in and I got that first question was nasty. Ooh, now remember that? Fox. They had the largest audience in the history of cable television. Then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, CNN. Fox had 24 million. CNN had 23 million people. That was the largest audience in the history of CNN. Now, do you think they were there because they were watching one of our competitors, folks? Do you think? I don't think so. And they actually say that the debate between Donald Trump and crooked Hillary Clinton will be the most watched debate in the history of television. And one of the biggest shows in the history of television. More importantly than that, they say that the election between crooked Hillary and myself will be the biggest voter turnout in the history of elections in this country. That's nice. You know what? That's nice. Because, you know, a lot of people don't vote in this country. You have a very low voter turnout. They say this will be the biggest voter turnout in the history of our country. And I mean, there's something awfully exciting about this, right? Then I say to myself, what the hell do I need this for? What am I doing here? I could go out and have fun, but I have fun. I have fun being with the people. The people are incredible in this country. You know, I have the theme, Make America Great Again. And I've added a couple of things. I'm adding Make America Great right now. I'm adding it. Make America Great Again. I'm adding for everyone because it's really going to be for everyone. Not going to be for a group of people. It's going to be for everyone. It's true. If you look at what's going on in this country, African American youth, as an example, 59% unemployment rate, 59%. You look at what's going on with Latinos, Hispanics, tremendous unemployment rates. You look at what's going on with so many different groups. We're going to make it great for everyone, folks. We're going to make it great. We're going to bring jobs back to our country. We're bringing jobs back to our country. And I'll tell you what, we can do it. Remember this. I have in right now, and we're going to change things around, and we're going to do it even more so, but we have the largest tax decrease of anybody running for office by far, and that includes all 18 that were up here with me and the one that was with her. You know, she said the other day, well, I had a lot of people vote. Can you imagine if she had 18 people to compete with? So you have 18 versus Bernie. Bernie, where are you, Bernie? Oh, we love Bernie. Bernie's okay. He gets a little nasty and a little cranky every once in a while, but he's okay. He's not too happy right now, folks. I'll tell you he's not too happy. His people aren't too happy. And Pocahontas is not happy. She's not happy. She's the worst. You know, Pocahontas, I'm doing such a disservice to Pocahontas. It's so unfair to Pocahontas. But this Elizabeth Warren, I call her Goofy, Elizabeth Warren, she's one of the worst senators in the entire United States Senate. She's gotten practically nothing done, practically nothing passed. If it was up to her, you'd have taxes at 95%. And I hope she's going to be chosen by Hillary. Oh, would that be great? I would love it. I would love it. But folks, we have a lot of work. We're going to make the country great again. We love our country, but we're going to make it greater than ever before. It's going to be for everybody. Here's what we have to do. We have to get out there in November. You have to go out. We have to vote. You have to get everybody here. I'm going to be here so much. You're going to be so sick of me in Virginia. You're going to say, please, don't come back. Don't come back. We can't stand you. We promise we're going to vote for you. Just don't come back. Leave us alone. And I'll say, that's okay. I'll leave you alone. But really, we have to. Because these people on the other side have no clue what the hell they're doing. They don't know about trade deals. And in all fairness to Crazy Bernie, remember this. Remember this. Remember this. Bernie was right about one thing. Our trade deal. Thank you. I love this guy. Look at him hold up that sign. Strong guy. Look. He's been holding up that sign. No. Big, strong muscles. He's been holding up that sign like for an hour. That's pretty hard to do. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But, you know, Bernie was right about one thing. Trade. Our country is being taken advantage of And I would have used, like a year ago, I would have used a different word. Because every time I use a word that's a little bit off, they go crazy. They say Trump used the word with an S. It starts with an S. Like nobody's ever heard it before. So I won't say that. So instead of using that word that our country's been with an S, right? I won't say that. Our country has been taken advantage of because we have very stupid people representing us on trade and on so many other things. And it's not going to happen that way anymore, folks. Not going to happen that way. Not going to happen that way anymore. And the one thing Bernie was right about, and I'm no fan of Bernie, but the one thing he was right about is trade, because we are really in bad shape. I mean, we are losing with everybody. We have the dumbest people negotiating for us. And the funny thing is, and the sad thing is, we have the smartest people in the world. In our country, they're the smartest, the greatest deal makers in the world. We don't use them. We use people that have no clue. We use political hacks. They have no clue. And maybe they do. Maybe there's evil intention. Because you know what? When I see some of the deals that made, nobody can be that stupid. Take a look. This isn't trade, but it's another deal. Sergeant Bergdahl. We get Bergdahl, a traitor. We get Bergdahl. We get one. They get 5 of the greatest killers that they have in the world. And those 5 people are back out there now trying to kill all of us and anybody else that walks near them. What the hell kind of a deal? That's a 5-for-1 president. We have a president that doesn't know what the hell he's doing, folks. I'm telling you. He's incompetent. And I hear he's going to take a lot of time during our time when he's supposed to be looking at trade and the military and all of these things, and he's going to campaign for crooked Hillary. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Because if he does that, we're allowed to say things about him that normally we wouldn't bring up, okay? Normally we wouldn't bring up. Remember when Bill started campaigning, we brought up things, hey, let him just fight fair. Let him fight fair. You know, the road's a little bit tougher for the Republicans. You understand that. The road to the presidency is a little bit tougher in terms of the electoral college, the states, and everything else. But you know what? We are going to win. We're going to win so big. We're going to win bigger than anyone knows. We're going to win bigger than anyone knows. They don't even have an idea. They don't have it. One of the important things that I have to tell you is, and one of the reasons this election is just so important, Supreme Court justices. So we lost Justice Scalia, who was great. And we now, I mean, it's possible that the next president will have a record number of Supreme Court justices. It could be as high as 5. It'll almost definitely be 3. But it could be as high as 5. There's never been anything like that. So if we put, like I hear these people, these poor, sad people, never Trump. They're still going, oh, never Trump, never Trump. These poor guys, never Trump. I saw it today. I saw it today. By the way, I am the least, just so you know, I am the least racist person. The least racist person that you've ever seen. The least. I mean, give me a break. But they're saying, is Donald Trump a racist? I am the least racist person that you've ever looked at, believe me. But these poor people, you know, they're trying to never Trump, never Trump. They've been doing this like for months. They did it with Indiana. They did it with New York. We're going to win New York. I win in a massive landslide. We're going to win Florida. I win 66 out of 67 counties. Can you imagine? It's never happened before. Against a guy who's a good guy. I mean, he's a sitting senator. You know, to show you how the system's rigged. Florida was going to be a proportional, so you get whatever the proportion. When I entered the race, they said, you know, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's make it, because Trump won't do that well in Florida. I love Florida. It's like my second home. They say, let's do it this way. Winner take all. Because we have a sitting senator, right? And we have a governor that was there, Jeff. Low energy. He's a low energy person. Low energy. I only say that, you know why I never hit anybody after defeat. But when somebody's defeated and they sign a document, a pledge, and they say, we pledge that we're going to endorse Donald Trump or whoever is the nominee, and I become the nominee by a landslide, and then they don't honor the pledge, that's not very honorable, right? Nah, I don't care about the endorsement. I really don't care. But when you sign a pledge, if I would have lost, and I never thought I would, but, who knows? If I would have lost, I would have honored the pledge. I would have gone, oh, I hate to do this, but I signed a pledge. Well, they signed a pledge, and Jeb isn't living up to the pledge. You got to live up to your word. You got to live up. So what happens? So they changed the rules, and it's the second biggest state after California in terms of delegates, 99 delegates. And they changed it. And then a poll comes out, says Donald Trump is at 48%, and these guys were like at 11 and 12. And they said, whoa, this is a problem. This is a big problem. So they thought of terrorists, maybe they'll change it back. Bottom line, didn't happen. So the election goes, and I win in a landslide. I picked up all 99. So sometimes when they fix the deal on you, it's not a bad thing, right? There was the case. They thought it would go to a senator or a governor from Florida, and that was a great achievement. So we've had really some great achievements. I mean, we've done something that nobody's ever done before. Bill O'Reilly the other night, and really quite a bit, I mean, he said it 2 weeks ago. He said it's the single most incredible thing that he's ever witnessed in his life of politics. Newt Gingrich has said it. Many people have said it. Many people. No, many people. And I don't view it that way, I'll be honest. I got a call from a great writer, one of the folks. I got a call. Aren't they wonderful? I got a call from a great writer. And this was a couple of months ago. And I was doing very well, but not winning. I was winning the states, but I had a long way to go. And he said, how does it feel? I said, how does what feel? What you've done has never been done before in the history of politics. I said, what have I done? What have I done? He said, what you've done, you've changed the whole landscaping. You're using your money. 55 million's a lot, but, it's a lot less than anybody else. He said, you've changed the landscape of politics forever and all this. He's telling me all this stuff. I said, so what have I done? I haven't won. He said, yeah, you've won. Even if you lose, you win, because nobody's ever done what you've done. You've created a movement. I've been on the cover of Time magazine like 4 times in the last number of months. 4 times. 4 times. And now they just told me on Monday they come out with another one. That's 5 times. I mean, Big Tom Brady or Big Ben isn't on, if they win the Super Bowl, they get 1 cover. I've had like 5 covers in a short period of time. So he said, no, what you've done has never been done before. I said, let me just tell you something. What I've done is nothing, because unless we win the whole ball game in November, it doesn't mean a damn thing. I've just wasted a lot of time and a lot of money. Believe me. I've wasted a lot of time and a lot of money if we don't win in November, because what good does it do? I mean, we're going through. I mean, frankly, if I lost in November, I almost would have rather been the first guy out of 18 out, save my time, go have a little fun, go play sports, right? Do something. So we have done an incredible job. It is a movement. It's it's really an amazing thing. I don't view it that way. I sort of have one thing in mind. We got to win the whole deal, folks. We got to win the whole deal. We got to win the whole deal. Because we can make this country so rich again. We can save our Social Security. We're going to bring back jobs. We're not going to let these companies walk away, fire everybody, and go to Mexico anymore. We're not going to let them go to Mexico. It's just not going to happen, folks. I'll give you an example, all right? When Carrier, and this was such great timing for me. I didn't do it for that. I'm not happy about it. But when Carrier fired 1,400 employees in Indianapolis, so there's Indiana. Well, they fired them. And I'm out there, and I'm there for 4 or 5 days campaigning, and it was big. And again, I was going to lose that state according to everybody, except I won in a landslide. And by the way, the evangelicals were so great to me in Indiana, and everywhere. They're unbelievable people, and they love this country. Remember that, folks. But, so when I was going to lose, so we go out there, and we're fighting, and it's Carrier, and they're going, and they're leaving. And you remember the thing? Somebody held up a cell phone, they took a picture of the guy firing these people, and he was like a mid-level management guy, and he said, just so you know, we're moving to Mexico, and everybody will be fired. Not like that, but pretty close to that, right? Nasty. And I said to myself, that's terrible. And I saw that on television, when that first happened. And then that became a big deal.
And all the other guys were picking up on it, except Trump has been talking about it for 8 months. They've been talking about it for 4 days, so it doesn't mean anything. And I saw that. Now, the country has been working very hard, but they have no idea what they're doing. They've been working hard on keeping companies from leaving our country. But they don't know how to do it. They're not business people. They have no clue. They have no clue whatsoever. They wanted to give zero-interest loans. They wanted to give low-interest loans. They wanted to give all sorts of things. How about where they give the low-interest loans and then the company moves anyway and keeps all the money? Because they don't have good lawyers, the country. We don't have good lawyers. So all these mistakes were being made. And you don't have to do that, folks. Very simple. You tell these people. I'll give you an example. If I were president at the time and my wife would say, you're not supposed to be calling an air conditioner company, darling. I love you very much. You're the president of the United States. You're not supposed to be calling the president of an air conditioning company. I said, but I love doing it. I'm sorry, darling, and I can do it better than anybody else, okay? I can do it better. Now, of course I'm kidding. I will have somebody like me. I know them all. I know the great killers of the world in terms of negotiators and the best business people. And they all, you have to see, they're endorsing me. Carl Icahn, so many of these people, Left Frack, they're all endorsing me. Phil Ruffin. These are some of the greatest people, and they're endorsing me. And because they understand. So I say, whether it's me or not, but let's say it's me, because I got to do it myself. It's so easy. It's like a 2-minute phone call. And I called the head of Carrier. And I say, listen, congratulations on your move to Mexico. I hope you enjoy your new wonderful factory. Yes, the weather's a little warm when it's 120 degrees out. It's a little bit warm. But I hope you enjoy your new factory. And I hope you do well. But here's the story. You just let go of 1,400 great people who, by the way, followed me all over the place. When I was in Indiana, these people are following me at every rally. I mean, I said, don't you guys get bored of this stuff? They said, we love you, Mr. Trump. Okay. So what happens is, here's what I do. I call them. Enjoy your new plant, but here's the story. Every air conditioning unit that you make that goes across our now very strong border, we're going to charge you a 35% tax, okay? Now, here's what would happen with Crooked Hillary or with other people. They will hire the lobbyists. You know, the lobbyists in Washington are great. These guys, they make millions of dollars. They're smart as hell. And they've got like Clinton tattooed on their forehead. It says Clinton. Basically what they're saying is, I control Clinton. And they have other names. I don't want to use the names of these other people because I'm supposed to be getting along with them. Now, we're all Republicans, right? So I'm not going to use any. But they've got Clinton or the other names tattooed. Now, what would happen with a normal person, let's say a president, somebody else gets up there. Let's say it's Hillary. They'll call up. They'll say, they gave you $1 million. They gave you $500,000. You can't do that to Carrier. You got to let them go. And you know what I say? They call me up. I'll say, I have no interest in even talking to them. They didn't give me 10 cents and not going to go to. I don't need it. I don't need it. They didn't give me 10 cents. So here's what's going to happen. So they'll try the special interests. They'll try the lobbyists. They'll try, and forget it. The following day, and I guarantee you it doesn't take 24 hours, I'll get a call back, meaning I or my people will get a call back from the head of Carrier saying, Mr. President, we've decided to stay in Indiana, or we've decided to stay at least in the United States. Wouldn't that be great, folks? It's so easy. So easy. So easy. Same thing with Ford, same thing with all of these companies. Actually, a very good friend of mine owns one of them that I've been talking about. It's sad. One of the, great guy owns one of the companies that I sometimes mention. He said, you always mention my company. I said, I didn't know you owned that company. So do you mind if I don't mention that company so much anymore, please? Okay? But it's all the same. There's hundreds of companies. There are hundreds. There's not 3 or 4. There's hundreds. And what happens is, if they do move, when they make product, they let all these people go. No more real estate taxes, no more income taxes, no more anything. Just a big, empty, ugly plant. And when they come back, and when they put that air conditioner for sale, they get charged 35%. Let me tell you something. We may have 1,400 folks unemployed, but we're going to make a hell of a lot of money every time they make an air conditioner in Mexico or wherever they're going to make it. We're going to make a hell of a lot of money. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Let me tell you, because this is just business. And a lot of people don't understand this, because I'm a free trader. I believe in free trade. But You can't have free trade if we have stupid people representing us, okay? It just doesn't work. Free trade's great if we have smart people. But we don't have smart people. We have very stupid people. So here's what's going to happen. So now they got this big tax and they send their... They're going to start building plants in Richmond, Virginia and other places because now it no longer makes sense for them to do that. It's so simple. And we're going to put our people back to work, folks. So simple. So simple. So we're going to do things like that, and we're going to make sure that if somebody leaves our country and fires all their employees, it's called you have consequences. There are consequences to pay. You're not going to do that. There are consequences. And you know what? When they realize what the consequences are, they're staying in this country. Now, if they stay in Indiana, that would be great. But if they want to move to Virginia or they want to, as long as they're in our 50, right? Let them stay someplace in our 50. All right? I mean, that I can't get involved in. I'm not going to play favorites. But you know what? They'll stay there or they'll stay someplace else, but they're going to be in our country. They're not going to leave. And we're going to start bringing back our jobs. And we're cutting our tax rate. Remember this. Hillary Clinton wants to raise your taxes substantially. I'm lowering your taxes. We're the highest tax nation in the world. Larry Kudlow just said that Donald Trump's tax plan is the only really brilliant tax plan. He loves it. He's very smart, great economist, highly respected. Larry Kudlow, the great Larry Kudlow. Oh, you all know him. Well, you know what he said. Hillary Clinton is going to raise your taxes beyond what anybody even imagines. And she doesn't want to talk about it. She's got all these horrible programs that won't help anybody, by the way. But she's going to raise your taxes beyond what anybody ever dreamt of. It's going to be bad. And I'm lowering your taxes way down. And I'm lowering business tax. And I'm simplifying your taxes. And your tax code is going to be simplified. And I'll tell you, people that are making very little money are going to pay nothing. They're going to pay zero. But they're going to work and work and work. They're going to have jobs. They're going to get up to a higher bracket. And they're going to start paying tax. And people now are going to have a simplified tax code. The worst, I mean, if you look at H&R Block, oh, are they in trouble, okay? Because you're not going to need them anymore, folks. I mean, I have friends that have people that know people and them. They can't figure out their taxes. It's so complicated. They can't figure out. So they go to H&R Block. They give a good chunk of income to H&R Block to do their taxes, and even they don't know what the hell they're doing. So here's the story, folks. We're going to lower your taxes. We're going to bring people into the country. We're going to create jobs like you've never seen before. Now, one other thing. Hillary Clinton wants to abolish the Second Amendment. Remember that. You know, the NRA 2 weeks ago endorsed me. It was the earliest endorsement they've ever given to a candidate. The earliest. And I saw the thousands of people there when they did the endorsement. And Wayne and Chris, and these are great people. These are actually people that love this country. They love this country. But I realized thousands and thousands of people at the convention. And I realized, you know, that's by itself a victory. And I'm not doing it for victory. I'm doing it for what's right. Do you know if in San Bernardino, people on the other side of the room, they shot radical Islamic terrorism, folks. We got to be careful. We got to be strong and vigilant. We have a president that won't issue the term. We have Hillary Clinton. She won't issue the term radical Islamic terrorism. She won't say it. She won't say it. You know why she won't say it? Because she doesn't want to offend Obama, because she doesn't want to go to jail. Okay? That's very simple. That's all. Why else? You know, I've watched. You know, she and her husband hate Obama, right? Everybody knows that. They hate Obama. But right now, she's like, yes, sir. No, sir. How should I vote on this one? Well, she's petrified because she doesn't want to go to jail. She doesn't want to go to jail. This system is rigged. Bernie found it out. And I would have found it out except for the fact that I won by such big landslides. You know, if you win by the big landslides, they can't rig the system, right? Look at that guy. If you win by the big landslides, they can't. So she wants to abolish the Second Amendment. If we had guns, if a couple of these characters, including that woman right there, including the men with the red cap on or the white cap saying, "Make America Great Again." Do we love those hats, right? But if we had some guns in those rooms, and where the bullets are going in the opposite direction, number one, you wouldn't have had the carnage that you had. 14 people killed, many people still in the hospital. Then you take a look at Paris, okay? So Paris is the toughest place in the world just about to have a gun. France, generally. So you have these thugs come in. Number one, if they knew there were guns in that room, they probably wouldn't have come in. But let's assume they did. So you have these thugs come in. And the press used to call them masterminds. Remember that? And I said, you can't call them masterminds. That's why they're taking our youth on the internet and they're bringing our youth into ISIS. So what happens is you have these thugs walk into the various places. Boom, 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 boom. 130 people killed quickly. Hundreds of people in the hospital. Many people still in the hospital. Their lives are so devastated, right? Never be the same. Never can be the same. If there were guns in that room, you don't even need many. But if there were some guys or some women with guns wrapped around their ankle or put right over here on their hip, boom. You wouldn't have had the carnage. You wouldn't have had the carnage. And Hillary Clinton doesn't want you to have guns, and she wants to take your guns away. But if she wants to do that, we should say to her that all of her Secret Service agents that are armed all over the place, and that all of her bodyguards that walk around wherever she goes should totally disarm, and you should take their guns away, okay? Let's see how she feels. Let's see how she feels. So, folks, we have something so big coming up. We're going to do so great. We're going to bring our education locally. You know that. We're going to bring it locally. We are so far behind on education. We're going to have local people. You know what we're getting rid of? What are we getting rid of? Come on. We're getting rid of Common Core. Believe me, we've been wanting to get rid of Common Core. Makes sense. I mean, I see the mothers and the fathers and the aunts and the uncles, and we're going to have great education. Right now, we're ranked one of the worst in the world. We're ranked number 30. So China and Norway and Sweden and Japan and different countries, they're at the top. Norway, great. New York City said, we're going with the Norwegian form of education. Let's see how long that lasts. And schools, by the way, choice. Remember the word choice, right? Choice. Schools, choice. But we have to get rid, and it's so important, we have to get rid of this, and we have to create something with education because we're at the bottom of the pack. And yet we pay more per student than any other country in the world by far. There's no second place. We're so far ahead. So we spend more, and our results are lousy. It's a little bit like my campaign. I spent less money than anybody else, and I'm in first place, right? By a lot. By a landslide. I'm in first place by a landslide. And then others, I don't want to mention names, but others, they spent many, many times, like $200 and some odd million, and they're way down at the bottom of the pack. And I say, who the hell do you want as your president, right? Isn't that what it's all about? So here's the story. First of all, I really appreciate this quick notice, and this was great. But here's the story. We're going to start winning again. We don't win anymore. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win with our military, which is totally depleted. You saw the other day where our jet fighters that are 18 years old, they're taking parts. They have no parts. They don't make the parts anymore. They're taking parts from plane graveyards and from plane museums. They're taking parts to take care of our jet fighters and our great people that fly these planes. They're falling apart. Our military is depleted. So we don't win anymore. But we're going to win with our military. We're going to kick the hell out of ISIS, by the way. We'll kick the hell out of ISIS. We're going to win on the border. We're going to have a strong border. We're going to have our country back again. We're going to win on the border. We're going to win with trade deals. We're going to win with education. We're going to win on Obamacare. We're going to end it. We're going to terminate it. We're going to repeal it. We're going to come up with something so much better. We're going to win on the Supreme Court. We're going to put great justices in the Supreme Court. So important. We're going to win on the Second Amendment. We are going to cherish and protect our Second Amendment. And we are going to win so much that you people are going to get so sick and tired of winning. Right? No? I like that. We're going to win so much, folks. We're going to win at every single level. We're going to have the smartest people. We're going to make great decisions. We're going to have a country that's respected again. We're going to win, win, win. I love you, folks. I love you for coming out on such short notice. Thank you very much. Get out there and vote. I'll be back to see you again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.